This is the new best dungeon to farm in Diablo 4 if you want to get loads of loot and level up quickly at the same time. I tested this dungeon by running it several times myself. Even on one run, I somehow got 5 legendaries, which I just think is ridiculous luck. But here are the loot results and the experience farming results before I show you the method of how it works. This can also be done solo or in a group, but I tested it on World Tier 3 and got 400,000 base experience per run. On World Tier 4, you would get 800,000 base experience per run. Obviously, it's still a fantastic farm on World Tier 1 and 2. Depending on your build, it will take between 5 to 12 minutes to clear solo, but you can do this much faster in a group. As for loot, I would get more than a full inventory of loot each run, meaning you have to port back to town to sell it or salvage. I also seem to get a lot of luck with legendary drops here, getting a few drops per run. Double legendary, oh my god. And I have a full inventory. So in this one, we got 3 legendaries, which is nice. Apart from one run when I somehow got 5 drops in total, which I've never had in any other dungeon. Now, the reason for this is because on the 10 times I tested this dungeon, it spawned between 14 and 16 elite mobs. And once you kill them, it then spawns another 2 elite mobs on top of you, so you can just keep AoEing. And now to actually get to the dungeon itself, it's directly south from Kiovashad. You want to go all the way down to the south coast in this zone right here called the Toxic Fens in Hawazar. You'll find the main city of Zarbenset just here on the left. The actual dungeon itself is located right here on the map, and it's called the Ruins of Eridu. I'm also going to be updating a pinned comment below to let you know if this gets patched or not. As for the farming method, once you arrive at the dungeon itself, just head on inside. So after you enter the dungeon here, this is what the map's going to look like. You're essentially going to run a figure of 8, clearing out all of the elite mobs in this area. And then after you've killed the enemies here, you'll then be able to progress to the second part of the dungeon. Another 2 legendary drops. Oh my god, a 3rd legendary in a row. Fantastic. 4th legendary, okay. So that first section of the dungeon took us 4 minutes. As you can see, this is my loot. Now we can carry onwards down the only path, killing more elites as we go. Oh my god, we got another legendary. Holy moly. So we've still not finished the entire dungeon, but as you can see, we've already got a full inventory of loot here. So we're going to have to teleport back to town to quickly sell this. And this is the loot from the rest of the dungeon. Now, after you've cleared most of the dungeon, the objective will now change to travel to the lair of Rizza. This is the final boss, and you don't want to do this part of the objective. Instead, now you want to reset the dungeon. So we're going to go ahead and run back out of the dungeon. Once you're at the exit to the dungeon, just go ahead and leave. And then to reset it, just press escape, leave game, and then join the game again. And then we can just go ahead and re-enter the dungeon. As you guys can see on the map, the dungeon is completely reset, so we can just farm everything all over again. If you're in a group, all the group members should leave, and then the party leader can just leave the dungeon and come back in a solo instance, and then just re-invite everyone back, and that's how you reset it. I'm slowly going through every single dungeon in Diablo 4, and if I find one worth talking about, I'll make another video. So only subscribe if you're interested.